If you want to be unkillable playing your Barbarian, well, look no further, my friends. This bar build is insanely strong. It will make your journey to the game so much easier. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my Barb Thorns build. This is one of the most fun builds I have played in Diablo 4. If you don't know how Thorns work in Diablo 4, basically, if an enemy attack you, they will take damage from hitting you. Leveling with this build, early to end game, was insanely easy and extremely strong. Watching mob kill themselves felt amazing. In this video, we're gonna be covering everything there is to know about this build, and from talents, power on board, gearing, stats, gems, basically everything there is to know about this build. And by the end of the video, I'm gonna be showcasing some of the nightmare dungeons that I did, so you guys can see how easily this build clears. Here are my talents. I went with Flay basically for the Thorns, because they gave me more Thorns. For my core skill, I went with Whirlwind and some Bleed. Basically, the build that I'm doing is Thorns with some Bleed, Scaling Bleed with critical. Next, we get this passive for 15% more life, and of course, we're gonna get all the cries, Rallying Cry, Challenges Shouts, and War Cry. And here, all bursts. This will give you a lot of Thorns. I put 3 and 3. Put Tophas now. After Tophas now, after this, I went and get a Booming Voice for the shout durations and rate of leaders for the heal. I was thinking about getting this. I didn't think it was gonna be necessary. You guys can get it if you want to. I decided not to. Next, I went for this passive, which is gonna give you damage to close enemies, which we always gonna be closing enemies are gonna be. Afterwards, I went with No Mercy, so we get some more critical strike. No Mercy and Hamstring go hand to hand. 3 points on Cut of the Bones. Then we went to Thick Skin. 3 more points for 45, as well as Counter Offensive. 3 more points for that. Then I went for my ultimate skills and I got Rat of the Berserker. I just like to use this. Berserker is gonna be extended by 5 seconds, and it's gonna do 25% damage, bonus damage because of this. So that's why I like to run with this Rat of the Berserker. Heavy hands. We're gonna be using 2 hands as our main weapons, so that's why I like to use this. And my neck is giving me rank 3 heavy hands. That's why you see it is 6. And the last pass is gonna be this. This is gonna help us, like I was saying before. This is gonna help us with the damage for when we are berserk, and it's gonna increase the duration of it, which is OP because it's gonna synergize with something else that we have on the gear. When it comes to gearing, you're gonna be looking for maximum life, total armor, damage reduction to close, or damage reduction. So we basically want to be as tanky as we can, because remember, we're gonna be doing a lot of damage, but mobs have to be hitting us in order for them to get damage. So that's why we are trying to get as much damage reduction as we can. One of the main things is gonna be getting Thorns in all the pieces that you need. I believe that the pieces that you can get Thorns is chest, pants, and neck. I'm not really sure if you can get it from your hammer. Now, when it comes to weapons, I'm prioritizing vulnerable damage, damage to close, all stats, critical damage, critical strike, So yeah, mainly what we're looking for is damage to close enemies, vulnerable being the first one, of course, because vulnerable is OP in this game. Critical strike, critical damage. Yeah, mainly that. When it comes to rings and amulets, of course we want to get on the amulets. I want to get thorns as much as you can. We want to get damage reduction because we want to be as tanky as we can. You can look for passes as well. The passes that you like the most, try to get it. So yeah, on the amulet, basically thorns, damage reduction. You can look for critical strike, critical damage. These rings, I need to change them. This one, I need to change them, but I haven't been able to change it because of my aspect. But yeah, mainly you're looking for the same thing: life, damage reduction, critical strike, and critical damage. You can get cooldown reduction as well. Cooldown reduction is really good because if we have a lot of cooldown reduction or challenge shout, we're gonna be getting 48% damage reduction for 7 seconds. So which is massive, and it's gonna be giving us 30% of your maximum life as Thorn, which we are looking for a lot of life in other parts, in other pieces of gear. When it comes to aspects, it's really easy. You don't need anything fancy. On my Hermit, I have basic skills grants you damage reduction. I like this one because I usually do a lot of basic skills. Just remember our basic skills is gonna give us thorns. So I basically just stand there and spam my basic skills so I get a lot of thorns. When it comes to my chest, I have this one. It helps me for 43% or 43 life per second for each close enemy. These gloves, I need to change this. This is back when I was playing Whirlwind. I haven't had anything better than this. That's why I'm keeping it. But I want to change it and get ranks to, of course, ranks to Whirlwind. But I want to get more defensive layers. Because, like I was telling you guys before, we want to be as tanky as we can. For my pants, I went with this imprint, uh, which is gonna give us, in this case, 30% of increased armor for your 4 second. Basically mandatory. All the builds that I have seen are using this aspect. It's actually OP. Gonna give you a lot of armor. For boots, I went with movement speed, of course, because barbarians, they only have movement speed with the shouts. I want to be as fast as I can. And then for my imprints, I went with critical strike, grants you, in this case, 11% movement speed for 6 seconds. When it comes to my weapons, I'm using this one. This is the most OP thing for a thorn spell. This aspect. In this case, I got a max roll, which is gonna give me 80% of my thorn is gonna be spread to all enemies near me. This is gonna be insane. This is one of the ones that you want to get as higher as you can, and you want to put it, of course, in your two-hand weapons. That way, you get the 100% of the power. Using this one, skill damage in this case deal 30% increased damage based on your primary resource. This is nice. I like to use it. For the other one, I went with this one. I want to get a bigger roll, but in this case, I'm using this one. Uh, increase 6% increased damage when you stand still. Like I was telling you before, I basically just stand still, let mobs kill me. They're gonna kill themselves. I spam my basic skills, so I get more thorns. When it comes to my other two-handed, this is one of the other ones. This is one of the other mandatory aspects that you guys want to use, which is you gain flat, like a flat amount of thorns. This case is a low roll, but as you can see, it's 3.7 thorns, which is It's huge. When it comes to my two-handed expertise, I'm using the two-handed weapon, the two-handed axe, for the vulnerable damage, and my weapon that I actually use is a sword. So we're getting the two benefits. We're getting the, as you can see on the top, when using a two-handed sword, direct damage. The direct damage that you deal inflict bleeding for over 5 seconds. That's because I'm using a two-handed sword, and then I have slot the two-handed axe, which means that I'm going to be getting the 15% increased damage to vulnerable enemies as well. When we go to the Paragon board, I'm gonna be showing you guys how we make enemies vulnerable all the time. When it comes to the Paragon board, unfortunately, we don't have anything related to Thorns on the Paragon board. So I basically what I'm doing is just going for as much armor and life and damage reduction as I can. The first clips that I'm using is Bloodfather, which is gonna be giving me in this case almost 50% damage to bleeding enemies, and it's gonna be increasing critical strike chance against bleeding enemy. Next, we went and used a blow rage board. I went, like I was saying before, for bleeding damage. And in this case, I'm gonna be getting this. Killing bleeding enemies have a 10% chance of grant you berserking for 5 seconds. So you're gonna have a higher amount of berserker uptime, and basically, damage damage reduction to enemies that are bleeding, damage full berserker duration. And the second glimpse that I'm using is exploit, which this is the one that I was telling you guys before. This is gonna be the one that is gonna make enemies vulnerable as soon as we touch them for 3 seconds. This glimpse is only level 15. It can go all the way to level 21. A solo your glimpse. All of mine are level 15 already. The next board that I went for was this one, Decimator, which I didn't end up getting the legendary note. I still need to work on this board. I want to get this one. And the third clip that I'm using is Marshall. It's gonna be giving me a cooldown reduction for every shout heal up to 1.8 seconds, which is actually huge. This is really important. The pass that I went for was this one, of course, more armor. Armor is OP in this game as well. Vulnerable damage as well. And then I'm working on this one. This is the next board that I'm working on. I'm only level 80. Swapping a weapon grants you 3% fury. And I went to get this first. I haven't met the requirement to get the pass it. Or, like I'm working on it. And the second one that I want to get, of course, is more damage reduction. Yeah, that's it for Paragon board. So I'm gonna be showing you guys some gameplay of the build, so you guys can see, like how it performs, and you see it's actually insane how good it performs.